The White House is also taking aim at the CDC's newest guidance on the coronavirus. As our lead national correspondent David Begnaud reports, its director warns that a vast majority of people in this country remain at risk.
Most Americans have not been infected with the virus and are still vulnerable to the infection.
That is the CDC Director Dr. Robert Redfield. He urged Americans on Wednesday not to let their guard down, announcing that preliminary findings from a new nationwide antibody study shows that about 90% of Americans are still susceptible to the virus.
Yeah, I think that Dr. Redfield misstated something there.
That is the newest member of the White House Coronavirus Task Force, Dr. Scott Atlas. He challenged Dr. Redfield's report, saying he was partially relying on old data. CBS News medical correspondent Dr. John LaPook.
It's a basic rule of public health that you have to have one message, no mixed messages. And you want to hear that from people who've spent their career figuring out how do you explain complex health issues to the public.
And then there was this moment on Capitol Hill yesterday. Dr. Anthony Fauci clashed with Senator Rand Paul over public health orders and what role they've played in keeping the virus at bay in New York City.
They are looking at the guidelines that we have put together from the task force.
Or they've developed enough community immunity
Right.
that they're no longer having the pandemic because they have enough immunity in New York City to actually stop.
I challenge that, Senator, because I want to, please, sir, I would like to be able to do this because this happens with Senator Rand all the time. You were not listening to what the director of the CDC said, that in New York, it's about 22%. If you believe 22% is herd immunity, I believe you're alone in that.
Not only is Dr. Fauci right, but New York City is getting it right. The test positivity rate here in the city, and even statewide, is roughly 1%. But the city's not taking any chances, as are businesses. In fact, the famed New York Opera, the Metropolitan Opera behind me, they announced yesterday they will not reopen until September of next year. It is the first time, Gail, they've skipped an entire season in 140 years.
Yeah, a lot of people making big changes, but very interesting exchange between Rand Paul and Dr. Fauci. Both sides feel very strongly on their positions. Thank you, David.